This song has never been heard until now, but it could be coming to a theater near you.
Last year, 40 out of the top 50 grossing films used music in their advertising campaigns that was produced or licensed out of Salt Lake City.
Randy Thornton creates custom sounds for the entertainment industry. Film trailer soundtracks are a specialty.
It's been a real exciting part of our business.
So is TV theme music.
We've recorded dozens and dozens of different television shows.
This is Judge Judy.
Other clients include Oprah, the Olympics, and the World Cup. When music is needed, Hollywood comes calling. But it wasn't always so.
When we started 31 years ago, it was just me and my partner Brian Hoffines in my basement.
When the Music Men started out as nonstop music 31 years ago, they had a hard time breaking into show business from Utah. So they decided to fake it until they could make it.
For the first little while, we had a Los Angeles number that just rang through up here.
And it worked. They landed contracts with a major TV network.
We'd actually done several projects for them before they realized that we weren't in Los Angeles. They said, how do I find the place? I said, well, you go over to LAX and you catch this Delta flight up to Salt Lake. And he said, Salt Lake? Am I talking to Salt Lake? I thought we were doing production in Los Angeles. Well, it turned out, the cat was out of the bag at that point.
The days of working in basements are over.
Well, this is an old LDS church building built in 1895. We purchased it in 1987.
This seldom-seen chapel shares some striking similarities with its well-known neighbor a mile away.
The old chapel area is just has phenomenal acoustics. Of course, back in 1895 when they built this, there was no PA system available, and so they took great pains to design the acoustics.
It's now one of the 3 studios on site. These hired musicians, some from the Utah Symphony, are recording background music for a romantic comedy.
Salt Lake is, for a city this size, it's very unusual to have such a large pool of musicians to draw from.
But locals aren't the only ones who've recorded here.
Lots of big name acts.
The Queen of Country, a boy band, a pop princess, an opera legend, and the biggest selling rap artist of all time have all been here.
We were quite nervous when he wanted to rent the studio. Lots of big name acts.
From the Queen of Country,
Dolly Parton,
to an opera legend.
Placido Domingo has recorded here.
Some of the world's best-known singers.
Backstreet Boys recorded here, Christina Aguilera.
Their work is usually quick and always confidential.
We respect their privacy and we don't make a big production out of things.
But owner Randy Thornton admits he was nervous about one celebrity.
Eminem, he was in town doing a concert and happened to have some extra days before he went on to the next city, and so he rented out our studio in the evenings to work on an album.
But it turns out rap's bad boy respected the rules.
One of the bodyguards lit up a cigarette in the control room, which we don't allow smoking in our building. And Eminem walked over to him and grabbed the cigarette out of his mouth, tossed it on the ground, stamped it out and said, "Can't you read there's no smoking here?" And then he turned to me and said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Thornton, that won't happen again." Eminem, from my experience, when he came in, was a complete gentleman.
Encounters with celebrities are exciting, but Randy says so too is the work that happens every day.
31 years later, we are still working hard. We still love it.
Randy and Brian's business, Nonstop Music, became part of the world's largest music publisher, Warner Chappell, 5 years ago.
We became the division responsible for production music worldwide.
Work now takes them far beyond where they started.
In the basement of my home.
But you can always find them, or at least their work, on TV and at the movies.